Hello, welcome again to Smooth Traffic. It's episode 4. I'm Johnny Edge, and once again I'm joined by my two good friends, Benny Pierce.
Hello.
And Robert King.
Hello.
So we've got a few things to talk about in this episode. My new favourite electric car manufacturer being one of them, the Volkswagen scandal, our dream 5-car garage, and a couple of other bits and bobs as well. Now, before we get into what we're going to get into in this episode of Smooth Traffic, there's something I'm a bit concerned about, Kingy. When we went to the Folkestone services...
Oh, here we go again.
I think I may have been cursed. By whatever unclean, demonic entity there was in there, I think I might have been cursed, and I'll tell you why. Since I ventured into that foul place, some very strange things have happened to me. I've been car cursed. Car cursed by the dung of 1,000 service station visitors. Not long ago, as you may have seen on Twitter if you follow Smooth Traffic, I picked up a screw straight into the tyre of my lovely BMW. 240 quid for 2 new tyres. Thank you very much to...
Painful.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So thanks a lot to whoever left that screw on the road. And then today, as I was walking to my car, I found that somebody had kicked in the offside wing mirror of my BMW. So I had to spend a long time walking up and down the road trying to find the cover, which was 30 to 40 yards down the road on the opposite side, completely scuffed and broken. The glass is hanging out of my wing mirror. I had to make a bit of a trip to a local supermarket and pick up some duct tape and a pair of scissors and strap my wing mirror back together. In between that, as you guys know, and as anyone who follows me on Twitter will know, I also broke my phone. So in the space of about 7 days, I've probably racked up £600 to £700 worth of repairs that need doing on various things in my life, and I blame it all on the filth in Folkestone service station. I thoroughly believe now that somewhere inside that hellhole there is a demonic entity, and when it saw me walk in, it cursed me, and I don't know how I'm going to get over it, lads.
This is quite shocking news, really. I mean, I knew about the nail or the screw in the tyre and the phone, but the door mirror, I mean, what possesses someone to kick off someone's door mirror? Are you sure it was definitely kicked off? Are you sure it wasn't like a car that drove past and smashed it?
Well, no, because it was on the pavement side. So it's my offside, and it's on the pavement side. Yeah, well, it is.
Really?
And I walked up to it and I thought, oh, someone's folded my mirror in. I was like, well, sometimes that happens when you park near the pavement, doesn't it? No big deal. Approached it, saw the cover was nowhere near it. And the glass was hanging out, and there's a wire broken in there as well, and I'm really hoping the motor to adjust the glass isn't broken as well, because otherwise that could get very expensive. I spent a few minutes trying to get the glass to stay in. It's all cracked and chipped, and there's a mysterious black mark and some paint chip on that side of the car as well. It looks like a brouhaha has broken out on my car. I think a couple of big burly rugby fans may have been slightly upset and perhaps punched each other a bit on my car, because there's some really strange marks on my car now, and I wasn't even upset. I wasn't even upset, to be honest, because I saw this and I just thought, I mean, what can you do about something like that? I mean, there has to come a point where, as a human being, you take responsibility for damaging other people's properties, and that doesn't happen anymore. If you break someone's property, nobody leaves notes anymore. Nobody. They always run off and avoid taking the responsibility for it. It took me about half an hour to find my wing mirror, the cover for it. It wasn't next to the car. It was about 40 yards down the road on the opposite side of the road. Unbelievable. I have no idea what happened there, but my wing mirror is completely trashed, and I had to make a 2-hour journey with a duct-taped wing mirror, so no mirror on that side, basically.
Where was you parked at the time?
I was parked near Victoria Park in the beautiful city of Bath, where King lives. Obviously, I'd been up to see King to visit Smooth Traffic's official pub, the Salamander, one of the finest establishments in the UK. Salamander, if you'd like to sponsor this podcast, by the way, tweet us at Smooth Traffic or tweet me at the Johnny Edge. Be much appreciated. Good work on the beer as well. Naturally, I'll keep you all updated on how much this is going to set me back, because you're probably interested to know how much 2 tyres and a wing mirror costs for a new BMW 3 Series. So the tyres, £240. It's also the first service coming up the end of this week. So I'll keep you updated on how much it all sets me back.
Well, truly terrible news there, John. To lighten the mood, let's talk about Volkswagen. They've been very naughty boys.
Oh, yes, they have.
I'm astounded, really, that they've been so manipulative. It's not like it was an accident. They've actually written software to try and deceive everyone. I think that's the most shocking part of it all. I don't know what you guys
It's
think.
very clever, though.
Yeah, it's quite smart. And I know lots of phone manufacturers do the same thing to try and make out like their technology slightly quicker in the benchmark tests. So they know the type of test that comes in, so they write the software to cope with that better. But yeah, on that sort of scale, it's shocking, isn't it, really?
I'm not surprised at all by this, though. I think every single company in the world does this, and it's the same in any aspect of life. Cheating is fantastic as long as you don't get caught. If you can cheat and get away with it, and clearly Volkswagen had the arrogance to think they could, and no doubt there's plenty of other car manufacturers, electronics manufacturers, all sorts of other companies out there doing exactly the same thing. They've all got the arrogance to think they can get away with it, and if they can, good for them. It probably saves them a bit of money, makes them look good. Clearly, though, I mean, if you remove that card off the bottom deck and it all comes crashing down, the bollocking is going to be pretty severe.
It does make you wonder if any other car manufacturers are going to appear on a list of those fraudulent, providing fraudulent information going forward. So we shall see.
The fundamental question from all of this, because it's kind of been dragging on a bit now, and I think we're all a bit fed up with the whole topic.
Yeah.
Would it stop you buying a vehicle from Volkswagen Audi Group?
No. Absolutely not.
Maybe.
Really? That's interesting, Ben, because you have a Volkswagen.
Yeah, it annoys me slightly. It's a petrol, so it's not really related to mine. I just think it's a bit deceptive. So it depends. I think I'd give it a bit of time to see if it comes out any other manufacturer has done anything similar, but I just think it's a bit... I'm maybe a bit stubborn sometimes. But.
So do you think this is going to be a big hit to their brand?
I think so. I don't see how it can't be, really. People will remember that for a long time.
I mean, it's incredibly bad PR, but the fact of the matter is Volkswagen still make and own some of the best models and best brands in the world. I can't see their sales being affected that much. What will be affected is their cash reserves, because it's going to cost them an absolute fortune. But I wouldn't bet against plenty of other CEOs at other big automotive companies being in brown alert right now, because I bet a lot of them are going to have a similar problem coming up. I suspect there's a lot more of this going on, and those stains are definitely not going to come out in the wash.
They're all off to Folkestone Services as we speak.
That explains it. It was when he realised his software had been detected, the old chief executive had him all over the walls.
Would it really be bad to say we've got to the bottom of it? I mean, I think we should just move on from the misery and the negativity that has kicked off this podcast with the vandalism of my car and Volkswagen, and move on to something a lot more exciting, and that is that I have a new favourite electric car manufacturer. Car is going to be a bit of a loose term here, because the people that make my new favourite electric cars are Garaya, who makes some of the most luxurious and impressive golf buggies in the world. And my goodness, they make some really good stuff. So the one I really fell in love with, the Garaya Mansouri Prism. Mansouri, yes, Mansouri. Now, we went to the Geneva Motor Show, Kingy.
No, we didn't. We went to Frankfurt.
Oh, yes, we did. We did. Why have I even got Geneva in my head? Yes, we went to the Frankfurt Motor Show, and we saw a massive Mansouri stand there, full of tasteless-looking cars and just not very nice at all. But the best thing that Mansouri do is the bits they put onto the Garaya golf buggies. The Garaya Mansouri Prism is the fastest golf cart the duo of Garaya and Mansouri have ever made. It has a top speed of 37 miles per hour.
Ooh.
Can there be many attempts to get one that's that quick, really? You say it's the best ever done. I mean, how many times have they tried?
Every time they've made one, probably.
Yeah, I mean, surely each time they make one, they have to go out and outdo the last one. The people who buy a €75,000 golf car...
You're kidding me.
No, 75,000
euros.
Yes. I'm reading off a page now for you, Ben. The Garaya Mansouri Prism retails at €75,000 plus VAT.
That's outrageous.
I know that's expensive. It is expensive.
But I would also like to read something from their website, which is just fantastic.
Yeah.
If you've got some time spare, go to Garaya.com, have a look round. You can even spec up your own golf cart.
Yeah.
But on the Prism, the driver can opt for one of 3 driving programs: Golf, Street, or race. The last one powerful enough to spin its wheels on dry tarmac, and lending the car a go-kart attitude in terms of handling and performance.
Can Tesla do that, Ben? I mean, yes, they can, but no, they can't. This
do a lot
is
more than that, but
so
they're
much
not quite
cooler.
as ridiculous.
So much cooler, Ben. I mean, how can you not love that? Look at all the... there's so much carbon fibre on this golf buggy. You just can't help but fall in love with it. It's like a Formula 1 car, but with golf clubs attached to the back.
It looks like one of those mobility scooter things that's gone a bit wrong.
How dare you?
That is a shocking statement to make, Ben Pearce, and quite frankly, I'm disappointed with you. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I have actually spec'd one up as well, in smooth traffic green, with some lovely brown leather seating on the inside as well. And Kingy, I think you were there when I spec'd it, weren't you?
Yeah, and, we went through the process together.
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised that Ben's not on board with this. You know, I'd have thought that the golf aspect, if anything, again from the website, turn the switch to golf mode, and the top speed, acceleration and torque settings are adjusted to golf course accepted levels.
I think my biggest problem there is that I don't often have much of a drive to my next shot, so it's not really necessary.
Fair play. I mean, I would also like a little mode on me that turns me to golf mode, because then I would, swear at more acceptable levels when on a golf course.
Yeah, you would not make it on the PGA Tour.
I wouldn't. I mean, I'd be getting fined every 5 minutes. It's an enormously frustrating game, but I don't want to get into the ins and outs of golf. The main thing is that Garaya and Mansouri, when they get together, they produce what looks like the sexiest golf buggy in the world, and there's a whole range of models on there. And you know what? I think this might be a bit of a regular thing, because the developments in the golf buggy world are extraordinary.
That's a phrase I didn't expect to hear anytime soon.
I want to throw the full weight of smooth traffic behind that, and just bring it to the forefront of modern electric car technology. Well, if you've been keeping up with the latest automotive news, and the chances are you have, you'll have noticed that Tesla have unveiled the new Model X. Now, we're going to go about this a little bit differently in a segment we like to call the Model X Files. Ben Pearce, our resident Tesla expert, is going to read out 3 facts about the new Model X. Me and Kingy have to work out which of those 3 is a lie. Kingy, the truth is out there.
Right, okay. So, 3 interesting facts about the Model X. First one, the front doors actually triangulate your position as you walk in and opens automatically when it thinks you're approaching. That's pretty cool, I think.
Ooh, yeah.
Possibly a bit slowly. That was my thought. I like to open my door swiftly, but hey. Second thing then, the wheels, to make sure that it is, gets the most range possible, have been made out of an ultra light, like polystyrene mix covered in like a hard plastic to make them extremely light. Third interesting fact, they have a medical grade air filter system, so it supposedly can filter viruses, and there's even a bioweapon mode that pressurises the cabin of the car to make sure that if there was any sort of biological attack that you'd all be protected.
Ooh, bloody hell, that's a tough one.
So it's 3 that's a complete sound like complete nonsense, but one of those isn't actually true, the other 2 are.
So we have triangulating doors.
Yep.
Biological weapon proof air filters.
Yep.
And what was the other one?
And ultralight wheels.
Ultralight
polystyrene,
wheels,
basically.
Oh, Kingy, what do you think?
Well, this is a tough one, Scully. I mean, I'm leaning towards the doors. I can't believe that, because obviously then anyone walking past, the car would open the doors.
But it might sense the key on you though, Kingy.
Yeah, but what if you send a passenger up first? How's the passenger going to get in? The passenger's got to open the door
Elon
with
Musk
their
helped
hand.
design this. There'll be a clever way around it.
There'll be a way around it, Kingy. I'm not convinced on the biological weapon air filter.
No, I buy in fully into that. That seems like such an obvious thing for Tesla to do. Something a bit, out of the ordinary.
Massively over-spec'd, basically.
Yeah, that you wouldn't think about at any point, Think about the phallic-like charger that we saw a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah.
That was beyond the pale. So
we need to make a decision on this, King, because the truth is out there, and I want it. I want the truth.
Fine. Well, let's do this then, John. You think it's the biological weapon protection?
I think it's the
I think it's the doors.
Yep.
So let's go for the super light wheels.
Okay. So, me and Kingy, we're choosing the super light wheels.
That's true. They are nonsense.
Really?
Yeah.
So they actually do have a weapons grade air filter
Apparently so, yeah.
and triangulating doors.
Yeah. So as you walk up to them, it detects that you're approaching the car in a fashion that would suggest you want to get in, and they open automatically. They actually also close for you as well when you get in.
Really?
Yeah. When you sit in your car.
That's a bit good. That's a bit Rolls-Royce.
I think Elon said on this presentation that it was like having your own personal chauffeur, which I suppose it is.
Wow.
So there you go.
Genuinely impressed by that. Genuinely impressed. I'm also impressed that we nailed it, John. We found the truth. Maybe next time, Ben. Maybe next time.
Next time on the Model X Files. Well, in the last episode we briefly covered the topic of our dream 5-car garage and the slightly unusual selections we have, the criteria for that 5-car garage. My favourite one being the car you would take your date out in, probably for a nice dinner or a trip to the cinema, perhaps. I have chosen the perfect car to take your date out in. It was seen at the Frankfurt Motor Show for the first time, and it is the RollsRoyce Dawn. Absolute splendour for your £250,000. A Rolls-Royce Wraith, essentially. It shares about 70-80% of the parts with the Wraith, but with the drop top. Beautiful interiors, always with Rolls-Royce. Stunning looking machine. There isn't a woman in the world, for me, who would not want to go out for a drive in that to a posh restaurant or a very, very cheap cinema.
We know this isn't strictly true, though, don't we, John?
I mean...
From Frankfurt.
One person has disagreed, but I'm not sure we can count the opinions of that person because they were from Australia.
No, they weren't from Australia.
Yes,
John.
they were. They were from Australia.
No, they spoke English with an Australian accent, but they weren't from Australia.
That's close enough for me.
So I'm slightly surprised you chose that car, Johnny, because I thought you'd go for the Cactus. Largely because the back of the Cactus is inflatable, which would be very similar to your girlfriend at the time.
Well, I could have chosen the Cactus, Ben, but if you think about a Cactus, what do you think of?
The Toyota RAV4.
Yes. Actually, yes. We actually should talk about that because who was it in your family that noticed that, Kingy?
My uncle.
Your uncle. So your uncle looked at the Cactus M and he saw Mark 1 Toyota RAV4.
Yep.
I mean,
and then as soon as he said it, I thought, yeah, it's obvious. It really is.
And now that you've said that to me, I can definitely see that as well. Actually, yeah, I can completely get that. But anyway, enough about the Cactus. The Rolls-Royce Dawn is the perfect car to take your date out in, and I challenge anyone to come up with a better car than that because I don't think there is one. I think that is absolute perfection. Comfortable, luxurious, very easy to drive. It's got everything you need, and romantic with the drop top roof as well. Back seats, well, I mean, if I've got a Rolls Royce, I've probably got somewhere better than a back seat, Ben. Well, then that brings us to the end of another episode of Smooth Traffic. Sad, I know, but we all have to move on at some point. Just ask some of Volkswagen's dirty engineers, eh? Kingy, anything else to add?
Nothing from me.
Benny, I don't suppose you've got anything in the cupboard?
No, I never do.
Well, all we have to say then is goodbye. Thanks for tuning in to Smooth Traffic again. Thanks for listening, and join us next time to see if any other part of my car's been vandalised. Bye for now.